First Seattle sack of the day, and Mike Horan back for his second punt of the afternoon. Another good punt. Galloway waiting inside his 15. Gets to the edge. Joey Galloway. Touchdown, Seattle. For Joey Galloway, and his first punt return for a touchdown in the NFL.
And Galloway does it on pure speed. You want to see speed? Watch Galloway take this ball right here. Watch him take it. He breaks back to the left. And now watch all the Giants who've got angles on him. Look at all those defenders, the white jerseys. He makes the move to make the kicker miss. There's one angle who missed. Now, these guys normally can catch a slower guy. Galloway runs a 4.18 in the 40. A lot of people don't believe a guy can be that fast. The Giants special teams defenders believe it now.
And this first quarter here in Seattle has been a nightmare for the Giants.
Galloway has not had tremendous success with his punt returns this year so far. Not a big punt return average, but all it takes is one big play. And when you've got Galloway's speed, you're always a threat on this big play. Nice block right there by 36 Lamar Smith to help open this up and turn the corner for Galloway. And there you see Herschel Walker missing the tackle. If a guy's outrunning Herschel Walker, you keep talking about the speed, that's as fast as it gets.
89 yards, the punt return for the touchdown, and the Giants wondering what hit him.
That's Harris. Ronnie Harris will be the deep man to receive this punt of Gossett. Gossett turns this one over. Harris at the 22. Gets the 30. Look out. At the 40. Still at his feet. Midfield. Gossett's not going to get him. He's at the 40. One man to beat. At the 30. He's gone. Harris is going to take it in for a Seattle touchdown. 78 yards and no flag.
78 yards for the touchdown.
That was just good execution on the part of the Seahawks special teams, and quite frankly, not so good execution on the part of the Raiders.
No, and there was some poor tackling along the way. It looked like they were grabbing instead of throwing to really make a big play with the shoulder pads. And a lot of open area. He picked his way beautifully. Went all the way for the touchdown. A beautiful return.
The Seahawks only one big play away for being right in the midst of this one. And Joey Galloway,
well, there's one
the big play return man. Yeah, waiting to happen.
All kinds of different poison Joey Galloway can give you with his talent.
Pretty good kick. Turns it over. 11-yard line. Not there. Not there. Whoops, something there. Need a block. Got one. Cuts back. 20-yard line. 30-yard line. Down the sideline. He's gone. There it is. Big play Galloway. Check for flag. No flag. It will stand up. 88 yards.
1 yard off the team record he had last year. 89 yards on that one. This one, 88. Like I said, Charlie, there's more than one way for this poison to kill you. Now, I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with game plan. This has little to do with blocking. This has a lot to do with Joey Galloway and his athletic ability and unbelievable instinct. He knows where the people are. He knows where he belongs. That's right there in the end zone.
All the way Galloway. Let's look at it again.
Coach Arnold not too crazy about that kick out of bounds, but here we go. I'm going to go left. I'm going to go right. I get a block or two. Now we're talking pure road runner. 84 blue poison gone. What a talent. Check that out. His returns and receptions. Hey, give him another one. He'll have double the offense.
With no timeouts, I mean, they basically have the 40 seconds left to get the the field goal team on the field, get them lined up, let them concentrate, and boot it.
And the clock continues to roll. There's a look at what Del Greco has done. 23 of 26 this season. This a potential game winner from 37. Block!
Oh!
And that is Robert Blackman going the distance. Do you believe it? Al Del Greco can't.
Oh my! There was no chance that ball was going through unless somebody got their hands on it. And I think it was number 90, Terry Wooten. Okay, we're getting it for number 99. Michael McCrary gets through. Not only does he get through, not only does he knife through, there's 99, Michael McCrary. Not only does he knife through, block the field goal, recover the field goal. Right there. But he has the presence of mind to realize that I'm not going to make it.
Robert Blackman
65
is.
yards.
Michael McCrary with a huge play on what appeared to be a game-winning automatic field goal for Del Greco. Turns into a McCrary block,
and he's got
McCrary lateral to Blackman for the distance.
And look, he's got the ball. He's taking her home. One more time, you're going to see McCrary obviously come in to the right side of your screen. And talk about the ball bouncing the right way. They say that footballs take funny bounces. Not for the Seattle Seahawks the last 2 weeks.
Todd Peterson, who was watching in agony on the sidelines earlier, thinking that his 23-yard field goal would cost his team the game, sees that Blackman is going the distance and he's off the hook.
I can sleep tonight.
Vindication.
But look, he had the presence of mind to know that he's got to go get his helmet to go kick the extra point. Good for him. In the excitement, you thought he would have maybe forgot about that.
And that's what it feels like to go from what you think is going to be a loss to 4 seconds away from a victory.
Have these Houston Oilers just suffered at the hands of things like this? The 1-point loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, the 1-point loss
last week
to the 49ers. Now let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to take that football, give it to the equipment guy. He takes it to a special guy who can paint it up real nice and say Michael McCrary blocked field goal for a touchdown, won the game.
Lee Johnson again. He had real problems with that concussion that he suffered early in preseason in a game. And it's finally back to somewhat normal. Another boomer to Ronnie Harris at the 18. Oh, zigs and zags, got a lot of room now. He's got the punter to beat, simply runs past him. It's a foot race, and he's going to win it. Touchdown, Seahawks, Ronnie Harris. 82 yards for number 81, Ronnie Harris. And the Seahawks are on the scoreboard.
It's called catching the football, head north and south, make positive yards, and he found a little seam as he catches it. You see him just start and a little move inside, gets right around the defense. Milne is gone outside. He doesn't want Ronnie Harris to go outside of him. Ronnie hits that seam, cuts back against Lee Johnson. There's no way Lee Johnson wants any contact after having that concussion and how hard it was for him to come back. But 82-yard punt return.
Ronnie Harris with an 88-yard touchdown return last year, but this one at 81. And the Seahawks are on the board with exactly 5:41 remaining here in the first quarter. As Seattle scores 7-0, takes the lead 7-zip. And again, here's the touchdown by Ronnie Harris. Oh, those Oregon Ducks can run.
There was the one move that I talked about, the shake move on number 91.
He just blew by Lee Johnson. Just blew by. Less than a fly off his shoulder. Just toasted him.
David Akers makes his NFL debut.
And can he kick it? Here's the guy that went to the University of Louisville. I watched him in pregame warm-up, and this ball will explode off of this tee.
He was signed off the practice squad earlier this week. First left-footed kicker in Redskins history. And lets it fly. Steve Broussard breaks open. He may go all the way. Touchdown Seahawks. What a start for them.
Ninety
yards for Steve Broussard.
What a terrible break for the Redskins on the road to go down on the opening kickoff. But one good point if you're a Redskins fan. You still got 4 full quarters minus 5 seconds. What? He never returned kicks for me. That's why I'm with you, Sam.
There you go.
Watch him bring this thing back. He's going to break it off to this side. Not a man lays a glove on him. Blocked to perfection, had that little alley, and he always had great speed, and he can hit it.
Well, at least you drafted him in the first round.
Jamal Williams, watch Jamal Williams for the Redskins try to catch him and gain on him, but he can't. He was a great speed back in college. Been hurt a lot here in college, in pros. Been hurt with every team he's been with. Been with the Falcons and been with Seattle.
Great run back for Steve Broussard. 90 yards. Came to the Seahawks as a free agent in 1995.
He did not turn the ball over last week against Philadelphia, and the result of victory for the Chargers. Bennett, high punt. He is a terrific punter. Galloway will take it from the 27. Cuts back. Joey Galloway, he has explosive speed. Galloway down the sideline. They will not catch him. Touchdown, Seattle. 74 yards, and the second big play we've seen from Galloway today.
Not only that, Darren Bennett, the punter's coming up limping, but it's been the Joey Galloway show. Talking to a man, special teams, the defense, he's the guy right there, Joey Galloway. They were afraid of his speed and his big playability, and they always wanted to have a man on him. But this punt might have outpunted the coverage. Look at that. There was nobody close in the screen. He may have outpunted the coverage, and it gave Galloway a chance to weave off, and they weren't going to catch him. An easy return for Joey Galloway.
Fred Thomas providing the final block that sealed the deal for Galloway.
So a 9-man front for Seattle. They bring 7. Aragoose with a short punt. Taken by Galloway at the 44, 50. Splits the middle, 1 man to beat. He gets by Aragoose, no flags. Touchdown. That is the 8th return for a touchdown this season by Seattle. It is the 2nd punt return for a touchdown by Joey Galloway, and the Seahawks erupt at the get-go.
Hey, what a great look there, too. First you saw Dennis Erickson going crazy and John Gruden reacting as you would expect the head coach of a team that just allowed a touchdown return on a punt. Not great blocking on this punt return, but unbelievable speed and burst by Joey Galloway. And how you don't kick away from Joey Galloway, I don't know. He doesn't return them all, but when he gets a shot, you don't give him the ball.
The Dolphins threw more than they ran on that drive, and Dan Marino was a perfect 6 out of 6. Rodgers and Kerry Joseph, and this will be Charlie Rodgers, lost the handle, picked it up, 20, 25, 30, and here he goes. Olindo Mare to beat. Charlie Rodgers with the touchdown. Drop of the football probably helped him with the oncoming Dolphins.
Sometimes it throws off the timing of the team running down trying to make the tackle, and that time the Dolphins seemed to almost stop, and when they stopped, Charlie Rodgers, you see the quickness and the speed. He takes advantage of it.
As proud as can be of Charlie Rodgers.
Well, watch this hop the football takes. It looks like it's going to hang on the ground. It's going to be falling. All of a sudden, it pops up. And Charlie Rodgers, you got to be impressed how quick and how fast he is once he gets going.
First kickoff or punt return in postseason history.
And rookie Charlie Rodgers is back at about the 24. Seattle, 5th-round pick out of Georgia Tech. There is a slight breeze inside the stadium this afternoon. High kick, he jacks it up, driving Rodgers back into the sun, back to the 6, and they'll return it. Breaking one tackle up the sideline. The kicker is there. Does he get by Miller? He does. He is in a foot race with Lance Brown. He's going to go in for a touchdown. Incredible. A 94-yard return. Seattle is up 13-0. That is the first return in the NFL this year, either punt return or kickoff return for a touchdown.
And we see it right here. The first miss right there is the one that got him started. Now up the sideline, the only guy left is the punter. Of course, he's not going to be in a position many times to make a saving tackle. This is a case of a punt being too good. It was so deep that the coverage people couldn't get down there to form their lanes, and Charlie Rodgers was underway before they were in position to box him in.
And it is blocked, and it's picked up by Sean Springs, who's been all over the joint tonight. And Sean Springs doing a Dion imitation. Touchdown.
How we talked about returns for touchdowns. This is a defensive team that has all kinds of players that can make plays just like this. And now we see a flag at the end.
Down at the goal line, maybe for an excessive celebration.
No, you're gonna have a call against number 11, Matt Hasselbeck, for his pushing of Sean Springs at the back of the end zone. It's going to be a personal foul. Backup quarterback pushing the DB.
Yes, so the touchdown will stand. Hasselbeck was the holder. It might be Lamar King.
That's who it is.
Number 92. And then Springs comes up with it.
And now what happens on nights like tonight with the wind blowing the way it is, kickers try to drive the football. They don't get the height. And big, tall defensive linemen like Lamar King can come in and make a play. So the rookie makes a big play on Monday Night Football.
The Seahawks noted for touchdowns on returns, block kicks, fumbles, interceptions, or what have you. In their last 30 games, that's 20 return touchdowns. That one's 61 yards, and Peterson's extra point is good. So a 50-yard field goal turns into a Seattle touchdown. 4:45 left in the quarter, and the Seahawks take a 7-0 lead at Lambeau.
There's Charlie Rodgers. He had two very nice kick returns. High, short, pooch kick. Rodgers again. Another big return. Goodbye. Charlie Rodgers, see you later. Touchdown Rodgers. 81 yards.
Charlie Rodgers, great return men. See a seam, hit it, and go. And what he does on this play, watch this. He sees the middle now, and now he explodes. There are no more breaks. He's gone.
I want you to focus on Chris Watson, number 21 of the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to spot him for you right there. See him right there? Watch what he does. He's going to go over here. He's not even looking at Charlie Rodgers. He'll go over and take on the block of Kerry Joseph, number 21. Instead of looking for the ball carrier, he went over and ran into a blocker.
Rod Smith walked off under his own power, resting on the side, but he did not get the first down on the catch. On third down, it's a block. It's picked up by Bannister, who had a concussion last week, but thinking clearly there, and he's in for the touchdown. Bannister, knocked out of last week's game with a concussion. He's been a demon on special teams. He just blocked the punt attempt by Tom Ruin. His first block this year for Denver. And you can see how long it's been since the Seattle special teams had a blocked punt. It's a touchdown, and Seattle leads it 30-14. Alex Bannister flying in, blocking Ruin, and taking it in for the touchdown.
I told you early in the game that the special teams for Seattle had to perform if they at least pushed that they could win this game. They've gone beyond that. This team has done a good job in their coverage, in their returns, and now blocking a punt for a touchdown. I'd say that they've answered the request of Mike Holmgren.
Jason Baker, he'll do the punting. Bobby Ingram runs up to field it at the 40-yard line. Breaks a tackle at the 43, gets into Niner territory, and off he goes. Bobby Ingram with no flags, 61 yards. Brian Jennings was the snapper. He was the guy who got downfield. He couldn't tackle him, and the Seahawks take the lead.
Bobby Ingram comes up big on that one. And we know what he's done as a wide receiver in the slot. But here he gets the ball. The big thing is he takes it on the run. The bad thing for the 49ers is they had 3 of them all bunched in there. That meant that they left their lanes. And once he could cut back and get that lane, he saw that end zone. You know, we talked about Bobby Ingram not having speed. The test of that, if you get out in front and you look back, that means that you don't think you have speed. Bobby Ingram got out in front and looked back 4 times on that play.
He looked like a jockey on a horse that's running out of gas. Where's the wire?
Morris back deep to take this one as Seattle will have 29 seconds to work with here before halftime. There is Morris from his own 4-yard line. And he's got room. Look out. One blocker ahead of him. He could go. Down the sideline and a touchdown. 97 yards for Maurice Morris, his first touchdown of the year.
You gotta love it. My goodness, if you're the Rams, where is the steak that you grab out of your heart?
Now this 97 yards to the house for Morris.
We just missed it, but you're going to see the wedge develop right there. And then once you suck everybody in with the wedge, you're going to see Archuleta is the only man to beat downfield. All you have to do is just keep him away long enough, and Morris does the rest, getting in the end zone. But it started with the wedge. You hit the wedge going 150 miles an hour, like Morris did in that play. And then Archuleta just tried to feather to just waiting for his buddies to come along, but no one can catch up. Nice execution by Seattle. And believe me, there are a lot of teams that, you know, look at guys going crazy on the bench, but there are a lot of teams that do not spend a lot of times on special teams and their return teams, believe it or not. Seattle is one of the teams that spends an extra long time on their special teams.
This season in the first 2 games, Arlen Harris keeping the Rams. Good high punt. Harris waves for a fair catch and drops the ball. It's loose. And let's see who recovered the football. No signal yet. Touchdown, Seattle.
Sam, he was looking right into the sun.
Harris muffed a punt last week that cost the Rams a touchdown. And the recovery by Orlando Huff in the end zone gives Seattle a touchdown.
There's the sun. Chris Myers and I were standing down on the field before the game, and we were talking. We were looking up, and I said, the players down on this end of the field that have to look up into a kickoff or a punt could be crucial. Keep an eye out for it. And you could see he never really saw it. He was looking up and trying to block the sun with his hands to no avail.
Is a muffed punt for the rookie Arlen Harris. The scramble for the ball recovered by the Seahawks in the end zone. Advantage of the mistake by the rookie Arlen Harris.
We'll take a look, Sam. Right there, he tries to block the sun. Then he's calling for a fair catch at the 5-yard line. You should never field a punt inside the 10-yard line. You plant your feet on the 10, and anything over that, you get away from it and let it go. And secondly, the sun was directly in his eyes. You could see where the ball came down. He didn't even see it.
Yeah, he misjudged it.
They don't lie, folks. That's the worst thing a punt returner or a punter can see.
There's a good one.
Ingram catches this one at the 16, and there goes Bobby Ingram. All he's got to do is beat the punter. One man left. Bobby Ingram will score 83 yards.
Boy, you can see that develop right from the get-go. Bobby Ingram just hits this thing right up the gut, outruns the kicker, and then does a great job of shaking off Brian Walker on the sideline, staying in bounds. The killer instinct that we were looking for from this football team, because their head coach, Mike Holmgren, said they would utilize it, they would go for it. Everything has gone right for Seattle today. Forget the sprinkler, man. The floodgates have opened up. And a good punt here by Nick Harris. I mean, he bombs it. He gets good hang time. But it's just terrific blocking. Chris Richard doing a great job on his guy. Now it opens up in the middle. Dante Curry does not break down at all. And Bobby Ingram says, see you. Now, here's the big part of it, right? Well, he shakes off the kicker there. But what he does to Brian Walker on the sidelines is what allows him to get into the end zone. See, Walker's coming there, number 45. Bobby does a little hesitation. Whoop! Now he's going to turn it back on. Stays in bounds. Touchdown.
47-yard punt, 83-yard return.
Here's a guy with one of the great names in football, Mackenzie Homebrecker, and it's blocked. So remember the name, because you won't hear it again. Here goes Anthony Simmons with the blocked field goal, and Simmons strolls in. He is a homebrecker.
And you're not catching him. I mean, there's not a wide receiver that probably catches him when he got the ball. So maybe that was an ill-advised sack by Phillips. Boy, we see this one again coming up the middle. I mean, there was just great push by the defensive line of the Seahawks. They had no chance of getting this field goal off. Just look right in the middle of your formation. And it's Anthony Simmons not only with the block, but he takes it all the way home for the touchdown. There's not many guys who know what to do with the football. He certainly is one of them that does.
Gets the block and then goes 67 yards that way.
You know, I had the record for the longest blocked field goal return. That might have to do some checking.
Yeah, but yours was regular season.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't count.
So you're still there. You're still there. There's no asterisk.
There.
You're good. So's Anthony Simmons. 67 yards off of Homebrecker.
This one from 38, a distance in which Tynes has already hit from today. And the snap is muffed. What the Garo Yepremian is going on? Kelly Herndon down the sideline untouched. Exactly the kind of big play that Seattle was looking for.
Huge play, in Kansas City's trying to say that that should be an incompleted forward pass. That Dustin Colquitt was trying to throw the ball, but as you can see down there, the referees are saying no, no, no.
We'll take a look at this whole thing again.
And that's a guy that's not used to being in that situation where they have a muff snap and he just panics. He's trying to push the ball in front of him. You can see he just flips the ball in front of him right there.
Well, being challenged here is whether or not there was a pass attempt prior to the touchdown run back, and if in fact the officials rule that that was an attempted pass, an incomplete pass, the touchdown comes back and it's Seattle's ball at the line of scrimmage.
And you can see Colquitt trying to flip the ball to Ke'Aaron Fox, who is an eligible receiver in this instance. The question is that little shot put right there, are they going to consider that a pass, or did he lose the ball prior to? It's a tough call. I mean, right there, it looks like he's actually trying to throw the ball to Ke'Aaron Fox, and it doesn't matter that Fox is not looking for the ball. He's an eligible receiver. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to overturn this call.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown. He never had possession.
Wow. A controversial call indeed.
And I think what he's saying there is when Colquitt tried to throw the ball, he lost possession before he threw it. That was their ruling on the field, that the ball was coming out before he actually could throw it. You can see, like we said, it's a tough call, but you got to have conclusive evidence to overturn the call that was made on the field. Just too close there. We're getting word from upstairs in the replay booth that he never had made a motion to actually throw the ball. Right here, they deemed that he was just throwing that ball up in the air, so there was no motion there, so that's a live ball. Kelly Herndon's able to pick it up and just run into the end zone, but again, it was just a situation where Colquitt panicked. And now you give Seattle the momentum back. They're back in this ball game, and it looked like at one point, if Kansas City would have went ahead and put some points on the board there, that Seattle was out of this game.
Well, Matt Turk has been busier in the second half of this game than he has been in quite some time. Great punt. And Burleson makes the return at the 10. Did not call for a fair catch. And it's paid off for him up the sideline. There goes Nate Burleson! Touchdown, Seattle!
They weren't even sure if Nate Burleson was going to return punts for him today. That was a game-time decision, and what a good decision that turned out to be.
In the driving rain, Nate Burleson lights up the biggest crowd in stadium history.
And all the Rams thought he was going to fair catch that ball. It was a great punt. Watch Nate Burleson. Never thought about fair catching that ball, and now he just gets to the outside. Rams don't cover, breaks contained, and now it's just a foot race. Matt Turk's got to do a better job, though. I know he's not paid to make tackles, but then he's got to put his body. You got to get into him, man. You can't let him just run down the sideline, make him cut back into the field where the pursuit's coming from. But Nate Burleson, great job, great courage. I don't know, that's the hawk dance or something. Just running right by Milford Brown makes it tough. You got to get the ball out of your hand, out of the quarterback's hands.
Jeff Wilkins short, and Nate Burleson is going to take it. Cuts back upfield, gets by the kicker Wilkins, and a huge return for the Seahawks. Burleson still on his feet. Nate Burleson, touchdown Seattle, 91 yards.
And just great blocking up front. What you want to do on the kickoff return unit is let your guy hit a crease at full speed. And you see him right there. McGargle 59 overruns it, and now it's a foot race. Straight arms one guy. Got a great block down the field, and he can just run. Watch him. He hits this crease at full speed. He doesn't have to change directions. Gives Jeff Wilkins one move, and now it's off to the race.
As we said earlier, Charlie Fry sacked 5 times in that first game in 10 pass attempts. They put in Derek Anderson, and he's just taken off with his play.
Zastudil's punt to Burleson at the 6. Dodges a couple of tacklers. Gets away. Watch out. Burleson against Zastudil. He beat him. Nate Burleson is going all the way. Touchdown, Seattle. What a return by Nate Burleson. 94 yards.
Wow. Yeah, wow is right. Usually you'll put your heels right on the 10-yard line. If it goes over your head, you let it go. Look at him in traffic. They got him stopped right there. Missed tackle 3. There's 3-4 missed tackles. And now once he's open in the open field against the kicker, forget about it.
Nate Burleson's 3rd career punt return for a touchdown. And it ties the Seahawks record for their longest punt return for a touchdown. I don't know how he got out of the pack, but he did.
and then he was gone. It's called superior athletic ability, Sam. Like you used to have back in the day.
I wouldn't know that.
Come on.
Already today, 81 yards and a couple of scores, and there's still 8:30 left in this opening quarter. Nate Burleson takes the kick past the 20. That's not Nate Burleson. And still on his feet and going strong. Josh Wilson headed for the end zone. Touchdown! Josh Wilson ran that back about 150 yards. 89 total yards credited as Josh Wilson has taken back his first career kick for touchdown.
Watch Josh Wilson. He catches the ball right here. A little miscommunication back there between he and Nate Burleson. But now he just uses his speed, gets outside. Great balance right there. Then he's able to just cut back. The Rams in their pursuit angles were not very good. And anytime you get a guy that's going to cut back across the field, that far down the field, you should have guys coming back to make that tackle. And the Rams coverage unit just broke down.
Josh Brown is out for the point after try. It looked on that kick return as though Wilson handed it to Burleson at one point. Instead, it was all Wilson. An 89-yard touchdown run.
Well, there's Josh Wilson on that kickoff return. He actually made a mistake, and he knew that he made a mistake too. This is Nate Burleson's ball. You see Josh Wilson, he comes over, knows that that's Burleson's ball. He almost hands it to Nate, and you know, what do you do when you make a mistake? You better atone for it. So what does he do? He runs it 89 yards for a touchdown.